said, because they could not stand such a life. People always say, you have to sacrifice something with your faith. But that is not true. You have to sacrifice everything. I never loved any man as much as I loved my father. I was often very sick. I was as delicate as a porcelain doll, like Empress Elizabeth. Sissi, a character I once portrayed at the Theater an der Wien. Yes. And my father loved me very much. And I was still Heidi Kiesler. He always called me Heidi Lendeland. I never thought I was capable of such a thing. I never got paid anything to be in that movie. I just went to the set because I was in love with someone who worked there. And suddenly they had me a script. And it was a nice story about a woman who falls in love with a guy who builds roads. That's it, I thought. And suddenly, in the middle of Prague, they said that I should undress completely. And the cameras were far away, really far away. And I believed them. The cameras were far away. I just didn't know there was such a thing as a soon-ledge. Yes. Well, now I know that it was harmless. I mean, I was only swimming. Nowadays, a scene like that would be tough. I was brought up very strictly, you must know. Not only by my father.
Husband number 1, Friedrich Alexander Maria Mandl.
Oh, God.
Born 1900 in Vienna and known as Fritz. Mandl was a man who knew exactly what he wanted and, more importantly, had figured out how to get it. A strong house. Strong-willed, ambitious, unscrupulous, and very wealthy. One of the greatest arms manufacturers of the Habsburg period, and later a great admirer of the fascist Third Reich. The fact that Mandl himself was Jewish, but yes, the fact that Mandl himself was Jewish gives his character a touch of complexity. A mysterious aura of ambiguity lingers about him. Well, tea time at the Mandls. In supporting roles, Olga, the Russian maid. What? A Russian in my house? Olga, the Austrian maid.
Yes.
Olga, the maid. Hid Kiesler Mandl, a loving wife. And in a special guest role, my good friend, Rüdiger von Starrenberg. Huh? Starrenberg! Always eating that one.
Fritz,
What?
are you coming to tea?
Of course, Heidi. Starrenberg! The cookie is getting cold! Bon appetit! Yes, Heidi, I bought all the copies of the perverted little smut film you did. Yes? Nobody should be able to look at your boobies but me.
Yes. Thank you, Fritz. But you do know I was forced back then.
Yes, quite a funny story. Why don't you tell our guest how this director got you to make those cute little facial expressions,
Well, to make my face appear like I was having an authentic orgasm, they kept poking me in my butt with a needle.
Ain't that what started there with a needle in the pop shell? Well, our trade is a lot more easy, not? Yeah, the industry is buzzing.
You know, you have a great sense for business. What is your partner's name again?
Benito. Benito Mussolini. You know, started there. This one again. You know, Starkenberg, that old peddler has a lot of money. With all the dough I got for the last shipment, I bought the whole display at Chanel in Paris for my Heydi. Oh. Listen, my boys are developing a new method to make the Italian torpedoes even more resistant. We are inventing some sort of a invisibility cloak. You understand? No. Yeah, that's what I thought. I just don't know what to call it yet. Ah! That must be good, Benito. Wait a while, I'll be right back. Before I forget, help me, Starkenberg. Don't run away, Hasi. Get? Another cup of tea, yes? Whack! After her escape from the Mantel house in Vienna, Heydi travels to London and embarks on a voyage to New York, very aware that Hollywood mogul Louis B. Mayer will be on the same ship. As glass shatters across Europe and the foundations of humanity crumble, the young woman breaks free from the patriarchal shackles of her marriage. With her entire worldly possessions, her natural beauty, and a single solitary evening gown, she sets off across the waves of the North Atlantic in search of a future as an actress. Mayer paid her $550 a month for 7 years. The only condition that she must learn English as soon as possible.
I think the inside of people's heads are much more interesting.
Mrs. Lama, I think the word you're looking for is brains.
Yes and no. I think the brains of a person are much more interesting than her looks.
That's very good.
Thank you.
Hedy begins an affair with the composer George Antheil.
Whoopsie.
After a day at the set, they meet at his place. Together, they develop the frequency hopping process.
Yes, that is true.
His wife continuously knocks on the door. Not now! Days can be sunny with never a sigh. Don't need what money can buy. The birds in the trees can sing day full of sun. Why shouldn't we sing along? I'm simple all the day, happy with my lot. How did I get that way? Look at what I've got. I've got rhythm, I've got music, I've got my girl who could ask for anything more. I got daisies in green pastures, I got my girl who could ask for anything more. Not now! I'm an endocrinologist and a scandalous composer with existential angst.
You know, George, my mother always wanted a son, and she would have named him George. Can you imagine that? I could have been you.
Oh, that would have been quite a pity. You're beautiful, Hedy. Your breasts, as well as an old endocrinologist, I would say, quite pituitary. No, Botsky! No home of the bachelor now!
I never knew I was beautiful. The brains of a person are much more interesting than her looks. And everyone always thinks that I'm an idiot. What do you think of my idea? The idea of combining fish and birds to make an airplane more effective. When you combine the fish in its streamlined form to the birds, to the wings of the birds. You merge them and you get the perfect thing.
As to power equipment, I'm thinking more of my ballet mechanic. If music rolls can trigger the keys of a pianola, why shouldn't they be able to activate radio frequencies for ships and torpedoes? No, help me, I'm dying! Antar's brother Henry died, shut down by the crowds. Not now! Did you know that the hormone level of a woman will tell you in which category of fidelity she falls? As for you, I would say you're type number 3.
I think I'm just different. Maybe I'm from another planet. Whatever it is, invention comes very easy to me.
Ah! What are you doing to my music rolls?
I think I solved the problem we talked about last week.
Yeah, if music rolls can trigger the keys of a pianola, why shouldn't they be able to activate radio frequencies for ships and torpedoes? We've been over this, but what's with the scribbling?
I don't feel comfortable here in Hollywood, where such terrible things are happening in Europe. And I think I found a solution to get back at those Nazi pigs.
through modern art.
No, through an invisibility cloak. Imagine, the frequency on which ships and torpedoes can be tracked follows not one line, boop, 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 but jumps back and forth between many.
Ah! And only your own people know the jumping pattern.
Exactly. As soon as the Germans locate us, we'll already be on a different frequency.
Not now!
Supposed to stand in the background, and then I was in the spotlight again. I never wanted any of this. I'm always the same person. My children, they didn't know I was an actress. They said, that's not nice. People shouting your names over the street. I just giggled. I laughed because I wanted to know them to know me as a person, to know who I am, not how I make money. Whenever people said, you're such a big star, I never felt this way. Other things were more important. My children were more important. That was just a job. My children. Oh, and films. Films were also important. I even worked when I had a baby growing inside of me. They put a flower pot in front of me so that you wouldn't see my bum.
There was a housekeeper and a nanny. Most of the time, the nanny looked after me. Her name was Frances. Frances from Canada. She almost always looked after me. And we had a chauffeur. He was sent by the film studio. My poor mom, she always had to get up at 3 in the morning because the film people made her beautiful. That often took a rather long time. Mr. Ludwig Mayer and the film people were very strict with my mom. I missed her a lot. She only came home when it was time for me to go to bed. I still remember sitting in the attic with her when she said,
Look. I once got a patent.
What? You invented something?
Yes.
But you're a woman.
Yes. I invented something, and it's a communication system that can be used in war.
Really?
Yes, really.
Oh.
I invented a lot of things. You know, I had a friend, and he built airplanes. But those airplanes, they were much too slow.
Uh-huh. And What did you do?
I borrowed books about fish and birds.
Fish and birds, but why?
Well, I wanted the bird, croaked the plane, to be as streamlined as a fish. Yes, exactly. So I merged both bodies together and shoops.
A flying fish!
Yes!
Oh.
How would you say I was a genius?
And then you build planes together. Hmm?
Well, it didn't develop that fast.
And what else did you invent?
Lots of little things.
Yeah?
For example, some cubes that dissolve in water, and you throw them in the glass of water, and it becomes Coke.
Wow!
Yes!
You invented Coke?
No, I didn't exactly invent Coke. I just
And where can we buy those cubes?
James, you cannot buy those cubes.
And your other invention, just
James,
Yeah.